Surprise! I get to go live after all. We thought we were going to have to head out of town. A family member is in the hospital, but we're going to wait and see and maybe head out tomorrow. So, better late than never, so I get to do a Facebook Live. I am going to, I know you probably won't find me live, but at least you'll be able to see it later. And I'm going to share this to my page in case somebody looks for it there. So give me just a minute to do that. All right. It's a lot more clicks than it used to be. I love how Facebook is always changing things and makes it difficult. All right. That is done. Get back to where I was. Okay. We're back. Okay. So if you are new to my Facebook Live, I come to you every week, usually Thursday at 3. We make something fun, and then the next week I give it away. So last week we made this fun beach tote card with the Notes and Totes bundle. So I will tell you at the end who won that. Today we are using the Charming Day bundle. So this is an online exclusive that came out in July. So it's this beautiful florals, some lovely sentiments, and then some really great dies. So there are dies that will cut out these images, and then some additional dies, and we're going to use a few of those too. So it also has, so this is a whole suite, which means it's not just that bundle, but it also has designer series paper, which you can see this is well loved. And I love how one side is a very beautiful floral and the other side is more muted. This one to me looks fall colored. Look at that pretty purple. Let's see. I think we already had a little bit of that one. Another beautiful purple in the back of that. And if you ever are wondering what colors are in your designer series paper, try and get this all back in here so we don't fall all over the place. On the back, it tells you the colors that are in there. And that's always where I start. The other thing that is in this suite, two more things. This is a braided trim, petal pink braided trim, which I used. And these are Charming Shimmer faceted dots. So petal pink, I don't know if that's Berry Burst or Petunia Pop, and then maybe, is it Night of Navy? Yeah, Night of Navy. Probably Berry Burst. That's one of the colors listed. I'm just looking at the colors again on the back of the designer series paper. So those are all the items that are in the suite. I saw somebody do a card similar to this. I didn't bring my Halloween one. It's over there somewhere. Online, and I wanted to try. I did it for a Halloween class that I had Monday, and I wanted to try it with this suite too. It's just, and then it can stand up afterwards so people can enjoy it for a while. And if you don't use Happy Birthday, they can enjoy it even longer. Or they can still enjoy it even with Happy Birthday. Okay, so let's get started. We have lots to do today with this. I have kind of layered my arches so I don't get them confused. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we have, this is our card base. So let's make that first. And I will put on my blog after this video is done the dimensions for this. So you don't have to worry about that. So I have 2 pieces here, and you'll notice that I trimmed off the front of one of them. So our card is going to go like this. So we're going to glue these two pieces together. All right, and I'm going to use green glue for this just so it stays. Green glue is a very strong adhesive. I just want to line these up so it goes right in that fold. You want to make sure it can still fold. And then just kind of press it. So you might, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I had to back it off just a little bit here so this one would still fold nicely. So that is the base for our card. Now we have our designer series paper. Let's go ahead and put that on. Not time for another green glue, I think. Hopefully I can get it to make it for this card. And I made these a little bit shorter than each of these areas, folded areas, so that also it wouldn't get in the way of the fold. The first time I made this card for the Halloween class, I didn't do that, and it kind of ended up folding my designer series paper. Now I did make sure that when I cut my strip, I cut one long strip and then I cut it this way so they match up. So you can see how that just flows on into the next one. You don't have to do that. I don't know if anybody would notice, but I liked it, so that's what I did. All right. Oops. That's the other thing I like about this green glue is that you've got a little bit of time to adjust it if you need to. All right, so there, that is our card base. I'm gonna set that aside. And let's do our coloring next. I did go ahead and do some coloring just so you didn't have to sit and watch me do all of it. It's not difficult, and I left 3 leaves so you can see how I did them. I did, you can see some of them are lighter. That is with Old Olive, and then these are the Mossy Meadow. So I'm gonna finish these last few Mossy Meadow leaves. So I'm gonna do light Mossy Meadow. And I'm just going to color the whole leaf. And I can tell my tip on this one is getting a little used, so I have to be kind of careful. And there are several ways to do this. I like to lay down this light first and then take the dark. And for these leaves, all I did was just take the dark on that middle line and just made a little swipe with it. And then I go back with the light and just kind of blend that in. All right, so our leaves are done. Now I did the smaller flower in Petal Pink. Oops. So let's take our light Petal Pink. I think he's running out, so hopefully we can get him enough. This is light, right? Yep. So again, we're going to color the whole flower. And then we're going to go in with our dark, put some dark in the middle, kind of along these lines where there would be shadows. And then just kind of blend. Okay, there's our Petal Pink. And then the other one is Timid Tiger, which is another color in the designer series paper. So same thing. This is such a rich orange color. I just color the whole thing with the light. And then we'll do the same thing. We'll take the dark, put some dark in the middle. This one's a little bit bigger. It'll be a little bit easier to blend and see some of this dark. And then just take the light. Just blend that out a little bit. By laying down that light color, it almost blends itself when you add the dark to it. All right, so there is our flower all colored. So I'm going to, oh, we need to stamp on this. Put my arches together, and then, well, this one I'm not going to put completely together, but the base of them I'll put together, and then we'll put them on our card. But we do need to stamp. So I've got Mossy Meadow. Oh, we need to do our sentiment too. And we're just, this is just that little leaf stamp. I decided it needed a little someplace. So I just stamped it twice there in the corner. A little someplace that you could write a message. All right, that's our last one. Now on our first one, whoops, this is where our sentiment is. And I chose Happy Birthday. And because I had this gold foil, I wanted to emboss it in gold. So, oh yeah, I put everything, where is my, oh, here it is. I put it back in the wrong place. So you need Versamark. We have a embossing, I don't remember what it's called, embossing toolkit, but it comes with this, some tweezers, this, I forgot what it was called, embossing buddy, and a little brush, or not such a little brush. But this is to get any oils off of your paper before you emboss, because anything that, like if there's oils from your fingers on it, then the embossing powder will stick to it. So I've got Versamark. We're going to try and center this. There we go. And then I've got my gold embossing powder. I need my tweezers. These are fabulous. These are reverse tweezers, so you don't have to hold on to them. They stay closed until you squeeze them. And I like to tap it on the back. And then you look and see, make sure all of it looks like it's got embossing powder on it, and you don't see like little flecks anywhere. And I don't see any. That's because we put that embossing buddy on it beforehand. All right, now it's going to get noisy for a minute. So there's an embossing gun that we sell, and that's how we melt this. And it has two settings. The first one is just to dry things. You need the second one, the hotter one, to do the actual melting of the embossing powder. So I apologize, but it's going to get loud. I always let mine heat up a little bit first. And then hopefully you'll see this. It's like magic every time. It'll start just getting really shiny gold when it gets heated enough. It's almost there. There you go. Can you see that? It's like magic. All right, you turn that off. And then you just look at it and make sure everything looks shiny, that you don't have any dull parts, and it does. So we're done with that. Let me set this aside. All right, now we have everything we need. And this it's already hard. You wouldn't want to touch it immediately after you do it, but it doesn't take any time at all to get firm. All right, now we're going to start putting all of our arches together. So these, I made these with the Everyday Arches dies. And we're just going to start putting these together. This paper is so pretty. And then this is where you can just write who it's from. You don't have room to write much on this one. And you could make it a bigger white arch if you wanted to, but I wanted to see as much of that designer series paper as I could. All right. This is our second one, and I didn't want to use one of the busy backgrounds with our flowers. And this is a happy accident. So I had cut out the arch for the first one, and then realized I had cut it as the same size as its cardstock back. So I ended up with little arches. So I made sure when I cut out the smaller one, I did it in the middle so it would leave a nice open arch. So we are going to use, hopefully, we can get enough, just little dots. You don't want a lot. Come on. I don't want to open a new one for this for sure, or I end up with big dots everywhere. All right, hopefully that will hold it well enough. It's a strong adhesive, so it should. And this should fit. Another reason to use the green glue. So you can position it. Should fit right on this arch. They're the same size. Okay. And then this whole thing will go on this. So this is Mossy Meadow. I don't think I've said that's Mossy Meadow cardstock. Okay, and I'm not going to put this on because I made that mistake when I made the card the first time. And I do have a piece of ribbon. And it was hard to get it all on. And let's do this piece. And then we can add the embellishments after we've got these on the card base. All right, now to put this all together, what I forgot when I was teaching my Halloween class is it's better to start with the back one. And you do want to make sure, if you put this up too high, then it's not going to fit in an envelope. So it's best if you have another card that you can just kind of verify that when you put it down, it's not going to be bigger than a normal card size, so it will still fit in an envelope. And then you just put adhesive on the bottom part of this. All right, so that is still within our card size, so we're good. Now, what I found easiest, here's our second one. Leave our little bits and pieces over there. What I found easiest is to lay this on top of this one, because this is going to go on this panel. But if you lay it on top, so let me go ahead and put my adhesive, because what I want is for these to just nest right inside of each other and not be off like that. I want them to nest right inside of each other. So that's why, in my opinion, it's easier to do the back one. Then if I just fold this over and press down, now it's right where I want it. And then the same thing, this one actually is going to go this way, right? Yeah. So on this one, go ahead and put your adhesive down here. And this is not hard. It just has several steps. Oop, I got it a little bit too far to the right. Try again. This one has a little bit more room around it, it seems like. Maybe I just didn't have it up high enough. Okay, hopefully I didn't get... Oh, we're good. All right, so now you've got your base. This keeps making me think it's wrinkled, but it's not. That's just the paper. Okay, now we're ready to do the rest of our embellishing. So this ribbon, you can unbraid it. I just liked the way it looked on the end if I unbraided it a little bit. You can do however much or little that you want. And then you kind of fluff it out. Do both ends. And this is the petal pink. And it didn't list petal pink, excuse me, on the back of the designer series paper. But that sure looks like what this lighter, those lighter flowers look to me like they are petal pink. So, and that's what I colored my lighter flower to. All right. There we go. Now we have some good fraying. And I'm going to take some tear and tape. Hopefully not too big of a piece. And we're going to just put this like this. And then I'm going to put a little piece of tear and tape over it to hold it, because we're going to cover that up with our flowers. But before we do that, I want to adhere this to the back of my flowers. Now, this can go above, but you don't want it to go too much that way, because you are going to have to bend things around, and you don't want this beautiful gold flowers to get bent. So I'm going to use a glue dot on the front of this. So just pick that up. And then I'm going to kind of hold this how I think it's going to be. And I'm going to glue that to the back. Okay. Now we just need dimensionals. And it might be easier, I don't think we're done with those yet, to put the dimensionals on the card. Rather than trying to figure out where on the flowers. So let's put one right there. And one here. And I don't know. Yeah, we won't really be able to put one up there because of the ribbon. So then this guy, just make sure you cover up your tear and tape. It's going to go right there. All right. Then our last thing is our front. And again, I did the same thing. I just took a glue dot on the front of my leaf. Whoops, I missed one there. And just glued it to the front, or to the back of my sentiment. And I cut this so it's exactly the same width as that designer series paper. But we are going to use dimensionals again. Just one on each end to put this on. And I put it up a little bit so those gold leaves kind of hang down. All right, and then the very last thing is we might as well use some of our, what are they called? Charming Shimmer Gems? Faceted dots. Charming Shimmer Faceted dots. And we'll use the, what looks like petal pink to me. And I just put 3 on. Whoops. Uh-oh. Maybe it didn't come off. There we go. Now you could add more inside if you wanted to. I just put 3 there. And that's it. So there you go. There's our over the top. Now this is not something I would do for just anybody. You have to be somebody special to get an elaborate birthday card like this. If my mom was still here, I would definitely send her this. Maybe one of my sisters will get it. Or one of my daughters-in-law. I could do a different colored one for the other daughter-in-law. I wouldn't want to show favorites. Okay. That is all for that. Let me show you. You kind of saw a little glimpse of this. This is the other card that I made with this. And again, petal pink, and this is soft seafoam. And I use the, what is that called? It's one of my favorite sets. Hang on, it's right here. Elements of Text. It's called Elements of Text. That's one of my favorites. I love it. Just to add a little background to that. So that's the other one I made. That's all I've made so far with this suite. Hopefully I will get a chance to make some more at some point. All right, so last week we made this card, and the winner of that is Betty, which is perfect because she loves the beach. So I will get that to her. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me today, and I will have the dimensions on my blog shortly, and I will see you next week. Bye.